Welcome, friends and family. Super excited to be here with you, continuing to talk about how to win friends and influence people. This should be really a beautiful March 2025. The weather's pretty, life's continuing to get better in this great state of Tennessee and really all across America. And we're so excited to be sharing with you today more from how to win friends and influence people. Today, we're coming out of chapter 8. And it says, make the fault seem easy to correct. And, I think this is just a simple and great process when we're working with people. And really, I think it goes back to kind of a golden rule. How would we want to be worked with? A lot of times, I will use myself for an example. Recently, I've been working with my daughter, Emmy, to pay a little more attention to her homework and doing her chores. And one thing, and it seems like Emmy will turn 12 in April. My son Noah just turned 14, but it seemed like right around this same time, at around 11 or 12, my son Noah was a little challenged with his homework and was starting to fall behind. Nobody likes that feeling of falling behind. It doesn't feel good. My daughter will literally come up to me sometimes and say, I feel a little overwhelmed. I'm feeling a little anxiety. That hurts your heart to hear that. And then maybe she was ready to give up some of her outside activities like volleyball so that she could put a more focus on her work because she was starting to fall behind just a little. So we did this with Noah as well. But we sat down and we said, okay, let's write out your top list for the next day. What are the top things that you need to remember? What are the top things you need to do? I don't know if you studied the DISC or not, but I've always enjoyed the DISC, and it's really a personality assessment. And my daughter and me are both high eyes. We're high eyes, have a lot of good traits. One of the rough ones are we are forgetful, and we can run off and forget things. So for Emmy, we said, hey, write down the next day, what are the top things you need to do? And write them right here. They got a planner, so write them right here on your planner or in your planner where you will see it every day. Now, study for a test, science test, read book, and then we will go through there and we'll say, okay, how much time, Amy, will it take you to do this? Oh, that'll take about 20 minutes to study. Reading the book, oh, that'll be about 30 minutes. Doing the math homework, I think I can get that done in 15 minutes. Okay, so really if we walk through this, you got 30, 20, 15, so really just a little over an hour. When will you have the best time to do this? Well, I can do it immediately when I come home from school. Or after volleyball practice, I can come back and finish up on the math or the reading. Okay, great. So it is all about making things that seem hard. Like again, when Emmy will say, this seems a little overwhelming, or it's giving me anxiety. I'm having a hard time sleeping just thinking about, how maybe I don't have all my homework done. We could really make that a big deal. I love Emmy said to me just a few days ago, she said, I think your mom's right. I make little things big. And sometimes that's what we do. We magnify the little things. Instead, we should take really what may seem like a big thing to somebody else, could be a very little thing. But how can we take that little thing and break it down to bite sizes? I've often been asked and heard, maybe not been asked, but I've often heard, how do you eat an elephant? And that's right, one bite at a time. So for those things that seem so far out there, seem so hard, encourage your team members, encourage your family, encourage those within your church and your community. Encourage them. Just let's break it down. Let's take a moment. Let's talk about it. And when you do, generally, it doesn't seem as big. Remember those coaches in Switzerland, the Alps, what we had talked about? How do you help somebody get from where they're at to where they want to be, from A to B? Sometimes a good coach can come in your life and help you in that process. But not everybody's blessed with a good coach. Sometimes you have to personally look at that situation that seems so big and figure out, how can I step this out? Like, what's step 1 look like? What's step 2? What's step 3? And begin to become more encouraged, because now you're not trying to eat the whole elephant. You're just doing it one bite at a time. Hey, hope you all have a great week. When we can do anything, you please let us know. Thank you.